Mm. Pause.
I feel like we're in another purge window, if you will. I feel like we're in this really quite a deep inward clearing of very old energy, whether it's like through physical, like you guys, or whether it's through emotional stuff that's coming up. I feel, I mean, obviously this time of year just bring with it people's potential stuff around family and all that sort of business. Comes up around Christmas anyway, but I do feel there's a lot of old energy being released from people in the form of emotion, in the form of physical exhaustion, in the form of, personally, I've felt a lot of stuff going on in the pineal and brain. I found it quite hard to ground, even though I'm in a place that's quite peaceful and beautiful. It's the energy's felt really big. So I think this is what I'm getting is that they're preparing us still for the incoming energies for this year, and that it won't really be till Marchish when we're moving into the next phase. And maybe that's also why the technology stuff has been delayed a little, you know.
Yeah.
Because it feels like that we're in a pregnant pause yet again, and that it's hard to get momentum right now. It feels like it's hard to get momentum on whether it's creating for your business or for your own manifestation around your intentions and everything. I feel like I feel like we're really needing to work with clearing stuff at the moment, and a lot with Violet Flame, and a lot with Saint Germain, and bringing in his energy and the Legion of the Ultraviolet Angels. I've been using in group work. I feel to actually just really support this energy clearing from us, because it does feel quite deep. Yeah, quite deep this time.
Yeah. Do you think it's going to run this pregnant pause is going to be up until the blood moon eclipse on the 21st?
I feel that as you asked me that, I feel that, yes, I feel that we're in the window now between the two eclipses, and I feel that as we move forward to the lunar, to the blood moon, I think that will just heighten the clearing phase, and then I think after, maybe a week after the blood moon, things will start to recalibrate. But I think January is a bit of a revisiting old places within ourselves, old patterns, and heightened up through the two equinox energy, two eclipse energies that are sort of windowing the both ends of January.
Yeah. And what's it like going through this with a partner? like the last 2-3 weeks.
2-3 weeks. So what's it like? Difficult.
You know, I was thinking.
Should I? I think I. Should I say? I think that we come from different paradigms, and that's sometimes useful, because he can get me grounded in the world and keep me moving. I can get a little bit stuck in the intensity of it. So it's actually quite beneficial that I have a sidekick, I feel, that supports me in the process and brings me back into balance around what I'm feeling and how I'm processing it. And, you know, if I get a little bit anxious around, because my head's been a bit spinning, a bit dizzy lately, he's just supported, you know, normalizing that stuff. I think it's really helpful, actually.
Yeah, I know. We started going through the physical, what was like a bacterial infection, which actually moved from the root all the way through out the throat. I mean, it was crazy. But so that would have started around the 15th of December. She went first and I went. And then we went through some serious initiations together, together. And it continued. You okay? It continued right through today, but and it's been interesting because there's not been a lot of discussion. There's not been any projection, really.
It does. I
you
feel
know,
like that's the shift that's happening.
yeah.
I feel like the field in general, energetically, the collective consciousness is now refined enough within the collective, especially within the Lightworker spiritual starseed community, is that we're able to hold each other in a more kinder way when we're going through stuff, not as projecting. And also, I feel that is also part of why I feel that this year, in particular, we may be faced outwardly in the world with more situations that require us to stay stable, grounded, and in our light, and support the bigger picture.
That makes sense to me, especially with some of the stuff that's starting to take the headlines, which I only use for myself. I use it just as, just kind of like as a, I don't want to say a shadow, but it's like, as the individual goes through as a collective. But I really believe that it's the emphasis has to be. I've noticed it myself, over the last few weeks. I don't want to use the word control, but staying under control, staying calm, hearing that chatter and not being affected by it. And
that's exactly I think mirrors the experience I've been having around this stuff that's going on in my brain, in my pineal. Often I would make more trouble with the experience, but this time I've just been sort of just a little bit more balanced in the mind with it. So I feel like there's a deeper resilience to the shifts that are happening. I feel within that we are been able to manage. And I feel like it's interesting you said the timing, because I felt like the December really was very so powerful, from the 12/12 portal up to the solstice, the full moon in Cancer. It's just been a real just been like a rocket fuel, really, the last few months.
Yeah, it's
sorry, you go, John.
No, keep going.
No, there was just something around the dragons. Last time we connected around the blue dragons. And it feels like, whatever's going on, this sort of burning, it's like a burning out. Like you talked about the base chakra to the throat of the bacterial infection. It does feel like there's our kundalini is getting stronger, and the channel's been cleared so that we can embody more light. And it feels like it is the birthing of the dragon power within, the empowerment of the starseeds and the ones that are being asked to step up and take responsibility for creating and supporting the new Earth Grid Matrix, who are being quite physically shifted at the moment in the ways that they need to be.
Now, do you think that what you're describing as the star seeds, the blue rays, first waivers, do you think that we're going through a more pronounced, physical, the physical effects, emotional effects, and the stuff that you were describing at the top of the show?
I think we're very sensitive to feeling them. I'm not saying others people don't go through experiences, but I think we're very heightened to witnessing them within ourselves and being able to articulate them to others. And I think because of our sensitivity, we are the ones that process first.
Yeah.
And hold space for soul space that, and I feel that yes, we are as Sandra Walters and quite a few other people have talked about, we're really working with the embodiment phase now of strengthening our physical vessel so that we can actually hold the light. And I feel like there's this so that we can really shift the Merkaba. I think it's like I think we're actually really shifting our Merkabas, but it has to be from the physical as well.
Yeah.
And the physical, the last part, I guess.
Yeah, the physical has been really prominent. I felt the physical over the last 2-3 years. There's been times I felt like, but I would say they're like minor symptoms, like a sinus or an allergy or a cough or a cold. Never any full blown flu, but I even got a fever again today.
Wow.
And I've been a few days, I'm not fully recovered, but I've been a few days out of that infection. Probably, about a week. It's been about a week.
Yeah.
But there seems to be a more pronounced. I was telling Morgan today, and I can't remember because I'm a little bit fuzzy right now. But that I said something to her like, I'm really hearing my body. I mean, I'm really hearing my body speak to me, in a more of a way than that just sounds. It's like I guess the biological Merkaba. I don't know. It's speaking to me though. It's like, don't drink this, don't eat that.
Yeah, I think it does. I think that's where we are collectively as people, we are very good at as our community is very good at the upper chakras. Yeah, and I feel like we're really needing to earth even more and transform the body process even more to more crystalline light, so that we can embody these higher frequencies to hold space for others. And I think that part of it's like a detox. Yeah, it's like a physical detox. We've been doing a lot of emotional detoxing over and over the last few years, and I feel like it's the physical. It's also the physical's turn.
Yeah, it feels that way.
Yeah.
It certainly feels that way. I'm picking up on it in my own right, in my own space. Like if I look at last night, I had a very uncomfortable night, which basically climaxed with about 4 o'clock in the morning. About 4 o'clock in the morning, I couldn't turn off, and I don't have a problem typically with chatter. What I've noticed since like the first of the year, something will come in and say something to me.
Yes.
And I just like observe it. But last night, I think there was some type of wave came in yesterday or maybe the day before. I don't know. I felt something yesterday, and it just was like the chatter would not stop. It would not stop. It wasn't getting the best of me, but I knew, like my body was telling me, just be quiet, be in the dark, be quiet, and just try to relax. That's the best. That's all I could do. That's the best thing.
And I think that's all we can do. Because it's almost like the energies the waves are coming in, they can like boom, 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 quick, 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 one after the other. Like whether it's an equinox, whether it's an eclipse, whether it's just an ordinary Saturday night, it's sort of a little bit fast and furious. And I do feel like we have to just try and stretch our minds to relax and do practices, mindfulness practices, back to basics, grounding, all that stuff, to sort of, because I feel like it's not just the political stuff, it's not just the the government stuff that's playing out. It also feels like that I had this dream a few nights ago around the earth and these cracks starting to show in the earth, like all over. But I'm not saying anything bad's going to happen. I'm just talking about that there's a really deep shift, I think, and I resonated with the cracking of the collective consciousness into some new place. And it's like it's like what other people have talked about, this like we're the hatching, before we're hatching. It's sort of like we're about to hatch a new level of awareness and consciousness, and we're sort of tapping on the egg, and it's a bit crazy making before we break through to a new place. And then when we break through to that new place, it's like and it's just like peace.
That was a good one. That was a good move right there. Yeah, I was doing a lot of heavy breathing through the night. a lot of controlled breathing, structured breathing.
Not just because Morgan's next to you.
No, I was having to do solo time last night by my own choice. Well, I couldn't sleep, man. I mean, by 4:20, I was like, you know what, the hell with this. So I went and ran some errands, but it never stopped. You know, it just kept.
But I actually feel like it's to do with. I feel like there's something at the back of the. I'll do a little bit of sound if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
This is really for the back of the pineal, the back of the third eye, right? So it's this place here, where the head and the neck meet. It feels like this is the place that's been shifted at the moment, and it can cause the busy mind, the feeling a little, the crazy thoughts, all that sort of stuff, the restless internal. So let's just do a little sound if that's cool with you.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I'm always open to that.
Yeah. So this is basically for the back of the third eye. This is to release some of the pressure off the third eye, as it tries to. It's trying to find that what's happening is that we're shifting insight, perception, and in this new consciousness that's coming through, and it's setting up a fight, flight response in us and in the collective, because it's new, and our physical bodies our minds are not sure how to process this. So I feel like we really have to do self-care around reassuring, creating safety for the physical body right now, that it's okay, that it is in a safe space, and that that even though it's changing and it's not quite sure right now, it's okay. So a little bit of reassuring to the physical vessel, I think. But I'm just going to make some sound. This is for the back of the third eye.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Thank you.
That's right.
You, a couple of people have come. A couple of credible people have come out, and I don't want to say forecast, but they're saying a period running through that everything changed around Christmas. We went from an old karmic type way and fully into a new way. So, and then there's like a period of a few weeks, like say third week of February, where the new game is involved. And when I asked you what you wanted to call this episode, you said 2019, the new landscape. Right. So, do you think that there is a pregnant pause, and then once that is over, say, latter part of February, first part of March, do you think we're going to start to see some serious materialization, magic, miracles, that type of thing?
I feel like there's possibility. I think there's more possibility than previously because we've done so much groundwork now. I think I think in an individual sense, it will be due to their karmic, how much they've worked on their karma, and also divine timing of where the soul is placed and what is supposed to be brought through at that time. But in a general context, what I feel is that we are moving into a paradigm which we're in the process of moving into through the physical embodiment of it, so it's stable. And then once it's stable in the physical embodiment and the mind settles, then we can create more. Yes.
Yeah.
I feel that there is more potential coming for people that are aligned with their soul's work. Yeah.
Wow.
And just like you're creating the space, the channel, there will be more unity within the way that we're working.
Yeah.
I feel.
Yeah. Yeah. And do you think that that's going to occur with the whatever you want to call it? I mean, whatever that is, the Blu-ray 144 first waivers, whatever. Do you think it's going to occur with these folks that have been kind of running the same path for so long, and then it grows from there by their example, or how do you think this is?
I think it will happen with anybody who is in alignment with their soul.
Yeah.
So if someone isn't even part of this wave, but is very but has been born and has got soul work to do, which is in a different arena, shall we say, I feel that they will also have the potential to flourish if it fits with the framework of the new earth paradigm. If they're not in, I mean, I feel like this year is about truth, unity and integrity. So I feel if you're within those three, if you're embodying those three aspects with your work and with the work you're putting out there, I feel that the universal energy will help bring it through more strongly, more strongly.
I saw a quote by Eckhart Tolle earlier today, and it said, some people, to your point that you just made, some people don't ever meditate, and that something to the effect that they just get it, or get to a point where they get it because they're tired of the pain, and it seems like that's something that's happening, is whatever it is,
I think
louder.
I do feel like this wave will actually bring up more awakening with other people that have previously not been awakened to the work we're doing. I think that is also a point where this energy will. I think that's in some ways maybe that's a bit of the symbolism of the dream, which was really about there's going to be cracks in things. Like
in the false matrix, the false earth.
Yeah, and like as light comes through, people will open to the truth. I think.
Yeah.
I feel that's really important this year, and I think that's why there's going to be so much more stuff coming out in the public about the lack of integrity in the governments and whatnot. Yeah.
Ripping the Band-Aid off. I saw a couple of posts today by Jason Archibald from New Zealand, and he was quoting some book that was attributed to the Council of Nine, and it talked about how special Mother Earth was in the universe, climatically, organically. I mean, so many different. Such a broad range that you could not find in other planetary bodies. And that what I got with, I think, the third or fourth one that he had written was that there really is this universal alignment that's pushing for this transition to be made.
Yes.
And it really resonated with me. It really resonated.
I feel that's really, I really agree with that too. when I was doing the light language prior, I feel like the area that I'm staying at here in near the Margaret River in Western Australia is the land that I'm staying on. I feel there holds up quite a lot of Palladian energy, and this energy wanted to give me a message as I did the light language. That is sometimes I do get messages when I'm speaking the light language, and it was really about really reassuring us that we're in the right place, that the Earth is so supported by the galactics, by many different, the Galactic Federation of Light, so many different galactic races, especially the Palladians, are really holding us tight, are really holding the Earth as this transition happens, so that we do go in the right direction, you know. And so even if I think if things do appear outwardly chaotic at times in this coming year, I do feel it is a continuation of breaking free of the old matrix, you know.
Yeah. Which
but
means, which if I look back at the last 2 or 3 weeks, which isn't just unique to that period, but it seems so much more pronounced in this period, and that is where, as this clearing and purging goes on, even today, I mean, I physically purged, I spiritually purged or whatever, but it's quickly that space is being quickly filled with that higher vibrational, you know, and
so I feel that we just gotta hold each other's hands through this phase a little, you know, as a community, recognizing that we're all going through it in different ways, and that we're holding space for the collective and the upliftment. And it's sort of, it's nothing new, I guess, that we have a clean out before an uprising, you know, of some description. So I think it's just changing in its form, and I think we can expect by the end of February, towards the beginning of March, a new wave of lightness coming in, which is going to allow us to feel more motivated, and I guess I feel like more. Even the astrology, where the planets are at, I feel like we're being gifted more energetic juice to expand. You know, expand this year. And so I think it's just a matter of it keeping on, really.
Yeah. So you're headed over back to the house, back to home in another week or so?
Yeah, so I'm going back to Sydney next weekend. And then I'll be starting work back on the 21st of January in Sydney, private sessions. And I'm also doing a conference in Coffs Harbour with a group of folks. If people check my Facebook, they can see it. Illuminate, it's called. It's about bringing conscious upliftment. So different speakers should be quite fun.
Well, are you going to be presenting anything in particular?
So I'm working with the title of the workshop I'm running there is Illuminate Your Multidimensional Template. So really, I work with people to activate different aspects of their energy body, their Merkaba, to bring through, I guess, awareness, shifting of the light body through channelings in light language, but also in English. So it sort of brings in soul remembrance of different aspects, so that they can recall soul memories, and bring back soul fragments from, say, galactic times, Egyptian times, Druid times. It's sort of the whole range of bringing the all into the now vessel, which I feel is really what we as a community are doing, is clearing the multidimensional aspects of ourselves on all planes through this body. And I think that's why it's so important. The Earth is so important, because it's the only place where we have created in the physical 3D, and actually going through this process is allowing clearings on all these other planes to happen simultaneously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Feels
last
really.
the last time we talked quite a bit about the wounded masculine and the sacred masculine.
Mm.
I don't
Yeah.
know
Right.
about you, but I'd like to hear what you
Yeah.
think. But it
Yeah.
seems like over the last couple of weeks, I don't want to say gender's gone out the window permanently because I don't think it has, and we have
Mm.
our incarnations for a reason. But
Mm.
it seems like it hasn't mattered. Everybody's getting hit. You know, I mean, have you seen that out there? Are you still seeing
When
it?
you say a little bit more about what you mean, Todd, having stuff
Well,
come up, or
well, I mean, like well, the last time we talked was, I guess, it was about a month ago. There was a very
yeah,
distinct
yeah,
uh, occurrence or something that was occurring, which had to do with the false masculine falling
yes,
away and the sacred
yeah,
masculine stepping up,
mm,
regardless of the gender incarnation. And it
yes,
seemed
yes,
very prominent. It just seemed very, very prominent. And
yeah,
I haven't personally seen.
mm,
And I'm not saying I'm right or anything. I'm just saying it
mm,
just seems to have been kind of a unisex deal here the last couple of weeks. You know, it's like everybody's getting hit.
yeah.
Uh,
I
yeah,
feel that this time is that I feel like the shift. It's a little shifted at the moment. Like it did feel like it was very much around the masculine energy a month or two ago, but then it feels like post 11/11 really, post 11/11, then 12 into 12/12 into now. I feel like it's just been a more subtle clearing, and more around hereditary stuff actually. So it doesn't matter whether you're male,
yeah,
female, black, blue, whatever. You know, it's sort of like it's more about the family lines, the family
yeah,
lines. And when I say the family lines, I mean including the galactic family lines, all the
mm,
way up to Lyra. So I feel like it's a multidimensional unzipping of the energies so that we can clear the channel to bring in this new light. So I
yeah,
feel like everyone's been hit. I do feel that too.
yeah, yeah,
I don't think it's a gender specific. It's not as gender specific at the moment. Yeah, for sure.
yeah. And it
Yeah.
seems too, like I was
Mm,
talking to Michael Van Patten about this earlier,
mm,
that it's like we're actually pursuing these missions or passions or work,
mm,
uh, and it actually making progress, but not in a old paradigm way. It's
yeah.
more of a quantum way. And at the same time, we're getting all this stuff coming in. And like you were
I,
saying earlier, we're paying attention to the body, we're resting, we're hydrating, and
yes.
we're hearing it better, and we're getting through it. We seem to be functioning better. I guess that's what I'm saying. We seem to be
Yeah.
functioning better and not getting
Yeah.
bogged down.
Yeah. I think it's like we're moving through the difficulties with more ease and grace. I feel like than we did it in prior experiences of these strong purge times, if you will. And I also feel that it's actually spot on around. I feel like this primarily, even into March, it's the shift in the consciousness that we're going through now, so that we can bring through the shift in I guess physical manifestation, because the new shift in consciousness has to be anchored in first, so that we can actually then think in a different way to create in a different way, you know.
Yeah,
So it's sort of, I think, but it's easy, I feel, at this time of year, you know, new year, new me kind of stuff, to sort of put a little bit of pressure on ourselves to create, to sort of bring in the new. And I think we need to give ourselves a little bit of a break to do this preparation phase. And
yeah,
I know for myself, being quite an action person, I like to get out there and do things and get things happening. And so sometimes I get a little bit tough on myself around the, the inward place of needing to shift inwardly and reorganize, so that then I can come back out and do something a little different.
yeah,
And often it is there's a shift in how I channel, there's a shift in how I connect, or perceive, but it has to go through some sort of a little bit of crazy chaos before that
yeah,
in turn.
yeah. Are you seeing like almost like a de-emphasis, kind of a fine line? What I'm saying, but
Mm.
kind of a de-emphasis on the linear, on the 3D, and I'm talking deadlines, I'm talking jobs, I'm talking tradition, that seems to be moving pretty rapidly as well. Are you seeing that? I mean, like I see people making these decisions. I just saw Jen Reynolds on here. She bought a van, renovated, and she's living in the van, you know, and happy herself. You know, I mean,
yeah,
you know what I mean? It's almost like we're being pulled away from it.
I think I feel like there is more connection to our soul individually, and we're getting to really tune in to what is required for us in the now. I feel that to be true, so that we can actually do what our soul needs us to do, go where our soul needs us to go, to bring, I guess, the next level for us specifically. So I think that I agree. I think people are trusting that they can live the way they wish, you know, without having to get so caught in the 3D the paradigm. But I also feel that that is in itself also unraveling within everybody, less so with some. But I feel like even people that have not been tuned into this kind of way, I guess, if you will, are even questioning, and as the collective consciousness shifts and the 3D matrix dissolves. But because I feel like that is what has been you're talking about here. It's it feels like some part of that over the last few weeks has just gone snapped. Yeah, we hit a point and boom, and so there's a sort of there's a voidal space. There's a voidal space now as we energetically and physically reconfigure. And that does mean that the brain goes a little wooey, because the brain is a reflection, I feel, of the earth grids. So when they shift, our brain needs to shift too. And I think that's why we're feeling a disorganized, you know.
Have you had, with this thing you're talking about with the pineal and otherwise, I've been having a tenderness in my head, and almost like a headache's coming on, but not like a headache I've ever felt before. Is that?
I've had funny stuff in the head too that I don't normally get. When I ask about it internally, I get the answers that it's about a restructuring. It's about a physical. It's about a new pathway has been put down so that we can create in a new way. I feel like it is all part of this new energy coming in, should we say?
Yeah. Are you having any recall, lucid dreams, that type of thing? Mine's picked up.
Yeah, I do when I'm further away from the city, and because it's quite quiet here, there's quite a lot of stuff. I don't often remember my dreams too much, but there's been a lot of processing at night. There's a lot of heavy processing, I feel, at the moment. Whether it's and I think that's why we're feeling a bit hit by it, because you know, it's this time of year. It's a new phase. There's also eclipses. It's pretty full on. It's pretty full on.
It is. Hell, I thought you guys were roughing it out there. You're out there in yoga pants, and you haven't shaved since you've been there. Your beard's as thick as mine.
I'll go to hell.
We're. This is actually our first guest as we transition into this new thing, and this whole thing too has been representative of what I've been experiencing energetically and what I'm observing, and that is we put something together, and at the end of the day it blows up, and then you get it the next day, you put it together, and it blows up. It's almost like you said earlier that the tech is being pushed back, and
I actually feel with your stuff around this technology, I feel like March, because it's almost as though it's divine timing, that it has to be birthed at the right time, and it's preparing. It's preparing. Yeah.
Well, that would make sense. It was actually founded on Morgan's birthday, 3 years before I met her, 3.5 years. But so
Wow.
her birthday's in March, her first part of March. So who knows? I do think that we have a lot to do, or a lot that we're still definitely through this eclipse. And I don't know, because if you look at it, everything is seasonal, everything is cyclical. And I don't know about your part of the world, but because I know it's different in the Southern Hemisphere, but February has always been like that dark, gray, bleak, cloudy month. Like it's like they say. It's always.
If you go with the pagan and the druids, in the Northern Hemisphere, definitely this time of year. I mean, I'm from England originally anyway, so I can hold both in my mind. So I do know that February is it's an inward time. It's the time to go inward and to do the inner work and rest and replenish, ready for the springtime. Yeah, ready for the springtime. A little different here because we're in summer, but I feel like I do feel that just because of the weight of the global collective, that this time of year every year is a big transition point. Just with the power of the collective mind, making it so. So but I also feel like every year we go through this phase of saying it's a new energy is coming, and we clock over to January 1, and we think, and it sort of doesn't come straight away. It comes later on. There's a bit of a lag. There's always a bit of a lag.
Yeah.
So maybe.
Well, there's no doubt. There's no doubt that these first 7 days have been intense as hell.
Yeah.
I'm seeing people, and I give them props too. I'm seeing people laying it out there, man. I mean, I don't really get to do much, but I'm going down the news feed and I see somebody just testifying, saying, "I've had it. F this, F that. I'm done." And then go back later and see, like you were talking about earlier, holding each other's hands. You see a few people comment and just send like a emoji with a hug or and then you see the person say, "Hey, thanks, I'm clear." So.
But I think that's what's happening, because we're moving out of one place to another, and there's parts of us that are really fed up.
Yeah.
And really fed up about the way we operate and how we do things.
Yeah.
And I think we're fed up with ourselves. Yeah. These aspects are fed up, and they're on the move. But they always do. And when these aspects and these limiting beliefs and limiting energetic patterns come up, they really do come up with force before they dissolve. And I feel like that's what people are experiencing. And also, from what you just said, it's sort of, we're experiencing them intensely, but then we're moving on from them quite quickly too. There's not the sort of in-depth torturing that used to go on in these purging periods,
You see less and less victimization. You see less. At least I'm seeing it. I'm not seeing. I'm picking up on some. It's nice. It's nice. You can
I think
see.
It's the lightning. I think it is the lightning of the work that's been done in the past years. I think it is actually really shifting folks, shifting our community. Sure.
Did I ask you this last time? But what is that thing around your neck?
What is this thing around my neck?
Right.
This is a talisman that I got made for me by somebody in Sydney.
Wow.
His name's Craig Davey, and it's got a few different crystals on it.
Yeah.
It's Lemurian. It's a Lemurian Merkaba, basically.
Wow.
And or light body, and it's supporting my. I feel like it supports my heart solar plexus. Yeah. Just stable. Yeah. It's a beautiful tool. Yeah.
Do you think that the heart solar got hit here the last few days?
I think whenever we go through one of these experiences, I feel like that's where the ego sits. Yeah, that's where we sit, the heart and solar plexus.
Okay.
And I feel like every time that where our ego has been challenged to expand, or we've been challenged to expand, and so I think it always hits us around this space because, especially the heart. I feel like there's such a deepening into the heart. I've read from other folks' material recently as well. This year, I feel you were talking about the masculine earlier. I do feel like this year, especially men will be deepening into their hearts, deepening into their vulnerability, and ongoingly, obviously. But so I think it is. I think this is, but not just. I think this last one's just been a whole body system.
Yeah. I was
purge.
just, I can attest to that. Believe me. And and the thing is too, ever since this started, which would have been maybe around the 20th, 22nd of December, I could actually feel, and I knew it was a personal thing, but I could actually feel some type of collective measure to it. There was some type of collective measure. I actually felt like, which doesn't happen too often, I actually felt like in my soul that I was doing something in front of others to kind of break the door down or whatever. I don't know, or prepare. Preparation has been a big word in my head for the last few weeks. It's preparation, being prepared, which is similar to what you said at the top of the show.
Yeah, I feel that's true, and I feel that that this phase is it has been destabilizing, and it's needed to be a little bit destabilizing. And I think it's true. I think with you going through your own shift in embodiment in your physical body, I feel that will be it's almost like it's an extension of the work that you're bringing through. It's an extension of the platform that's about to be birthed. You're going through the clearings that are going, and Morgan too, so that you can birth this I want to call it technology. I'll call it technology. It's sort of like it's back to the Atlantean times. I feel there's something that you guys did back then and something that you're doing now. No surprise that you've actually physically come together also at the beginning of this birthing of this technology, because it has been since the Atlantean days that you've created this. This is just the new form. So it's quite powerful.
That resonates. That is powerful. Anything you want to do? Any clearings before we head out? Any tones or anything?
Okay. I guess I'll just work with the energy of Saint Germain. So just really, this is just for the energy body, and it's really just about supporting the releasing of the karmic stuff. The karmic stuff that's coming out, and it's not so much this lifetime, but previous stuff into the elemental realms and the galactic realms. Okay. So this is just a wave of energy to support clearing.
Very good.
So they wish to say the energies that are supporting the planet, the energies of the galactic, wish to. It's and the Palladian especially. It's about. They just want to bring us reassurance right now, that we're in the right place and that we're heading in the right direction. That's all I keep getting told, is that we're to reassure ourselves, reassure our body, reassure each other, gather together when you feel it's appropriate, but just be whatever makes your physical vessel feel safe and at ease through this transitional phase, through this preparation phase, is useful to quieten the mind, to quiet the nervous system, and allow us, the mind that doesn't know how to process the shift, to relax a little. I feel like we're just getting a little bit of the fight flight activated because of the change that's coming in. So really, and especially those that aren't aware of the change coming in, getting more frightened. So it's just, they're just saying, reassure yourselves, reassure yourselves. It will be okay. It will be okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You're in the right place. That's all I wish us to know. And I think we're in for good stuff.
Beautiful. I look forward to doing many more collaboration shows and supporting you to do your own stuff. I'm going to keep plugging away. Thank you for being the first one to come on. I'm sorry we didn't have everything technologically figured out, but
it's all good.
Yeah, I know. I'll put it out. I'll download it, put it out.
Awesome.
Best to you and your partner. You guys enjoy your time over there in Perth. And
thank you.
I'll talk to you later. Thank you, brother.
Take it easy, man.
Appreciate you.
Take it easy.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.